But solving those two equations, God is the Most High, God is the Almighty, the answer is that God is sovereign. Sovereign means he does as he pleases. Psalm 115 verse 3. Psalm 115 verse 3. Sovereign means he does whatever he pleases because since he's the Most High, you didn't elect him to power, so you cannot elect him out of power. You didn't vote for him. He was God before you were born. And if you don't like what he has done, there's nothing you can do. Sue him. Let's see the judge who will judge the case. And since he's the Almighty, and he does as he pleases, you don't like what he has done, if you want to fight, come along and fight. And let's see who will win. Because if you say you want to fight him, all he has to do is send a message through your nose to your heart, and the heart will stop beating. There was a king who once said, I'm as equal as God. God said, is that so? He said, all right, go and eat grass for 7 years, and then come back and we will talk. You know the story, Daniel chapter 4. The king came back and said, you are the Most High. You rule in the affairs of men. Another king said, when I'm speaking, God should keep quiet. That's in Acts chapter 12. God said, is that so? He said, all right. I will show you that I'm the Almighty. I control all the armies of the world, including armies among insects. So he sent a battalion of worms. The king fell from his throne. Before he hit the ground, only his bones remained. Acts of the Apostles chapter 12 from verse 20 to 24. God is sovereign. You don't argue with him. And the result of that is that whoever he likes, he promotes. And anyone he doesn't like, he demotes. And you cannot query him. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 7. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 7. That is why anyone who has any sense at all will fear God. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of what? Wisdom. If you have any sense at all, you will fear God. Now there are those who say that the Bible didn't say you should fear God, it said you should reverence him. Thank you. I agree you should reverence him. If you want to hear the truth, fear him. What do I ask you to do? And as I've explained to some of us in the past, I reverence the ocean. I own a reverential awe to the ocean. Because I come from a village where the biggest river is the one a man can jump over. I was telling some of my children yesterday, the first time I came to Lagos and I saw the lagoon, I was afraid. So much water. Never seen anything like that before. And they said, you haven't seen anything. Then they took me to the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, God Almighty. But I fear fire. Because you touch fire, you'll be burnt. I reverence the ocean. But occasionally when I go to one of the islands in Lagos to go and pray, when I need to pray especially, and I'm walking along the beach, and I've been walking for hours. My legs begin to burn. I stay close enough to the ocean for the waves to splash over my feet to cool it down. No matter how cold I am, I don't touch fire. And believe me honestly, one of the names of God is the consuming fire. What kind of fire? Fear him. That's the beginning of greatness. If you don't fear God, you can't reach your goal. Period. Whomsoever he likes, he promotes. And if he decides to promote you, the whole world cannot stop him. If he says he wants to promote you, let all the enemies in your father's house, in your mother's house, gather together with the enemies in the school, in the university. He will scatter them. But if he decides to fight you, you will discover that there is no hiding place for him. So I'm